nuts.
Movie rips off the slow motion look how he can see things before they happen vision from Sherlock Holmes. Man, I don't care how fast his brain processes things, there's not enough time for him to keep turning his head and looking at all the options like this.
It must be there by 7 o'clock.
Did they actually hire Jamie Chung and then ask her to cover up her American accent with the most stereotypical Chinese accent ever? So this movie is saying that once Wiley sped off from Columbia University, Bobby was able to run to his car, pull out into Manhattan traffic, and somehow catch Wiley, who never stops? Bobby is clearly behind a silver car and a blue car in this shot, but now there's a black car in front of him. And the only driver in New York history to give a shit about a honking horn politely moves over, for reasons unknown. Bobby and Wiley pass a mobile gas station here, then pass it again here, and here. And just to be different, one more time here. We've seen Wiley anticipate people opening car doors and be downright Sherlock Holmesian when it comes to finding bike paths, but a car coming out of a parking garage ends up being his kryptonite. Wiley apparently has a homing beacon on him because no matter where he goes or what kind of crazy route he takes, people can find him with no problem. No, dude, all you have to do is honk your horn, and a bunch of helpful New Yorkers will get out of your way. Remember? And then Wiley decides that now is the time to file a complaint against someone who is clearly a psychopath, giving said psychopath more time to catch up to him.
Rebuy.
Geez, this movie wastes a good 12 minutes telling us something that could have taken 10 seconds. This guy is a degenerate gambler. Got it. This guy would never have an apple on his desk. At least not a ripe one. Unless the script calls for him to stab something with a pencil. I gotta admit, I didn't expect the Bike Messenger movie to turn into a game of Metal Gear Solid.
I'm gonna need to change the delivery address on that envelope.
He only just now thought to use the ticket number to change the delivery address on the package? How did this asshole ever make detective?
I still don't get what happened. Did I do something to piss you off or something?
No, I told you, it's a private matter.
Can't she just say that her family is moving to America and to the apartment and leave it at that? There's really no need for secrecy except for the illegal money thing, and Vanessa doesn't need to know about that.
You can't walk around with all that money. Where are you going?
Down the street.
Where?
The nail salon.
I can't tell you anything about this money, except where I'm taking it, just in case a cop stops by later asking where I went. Can't this old dude just make a simple phone call to Sister Chen and say, hey, I got the money, do your thing? They know each other. It's not like Nima's making a money exchange between strangers. Doesn't take cash? So what would Sister Chen have exchanged the ticket for? A bank transfer? There seems to be no reason why this money exchange needs to be so complicated, dangerous, and overall f***ed up.
I don't have time for this bullshit, man.
Would it really have been that hard to tell Manny that it was life or death, and the cops were involved, and stop f***ing around like a movie douchebag? Or call the boss and tell him what's going on? What? So they're neck and neck most of the race, and then Wiley wrecks, but then he's able to get up and catch back up to Manny? What is this, Mario Kart? Conveniently timed truck in the middle of the road during a chase scene cliche. This wreck sends Wiley flying horizontally several feet, if not several yards, but then he lands like someone who just fell off the couch.
I didn't mean to tackle you.
Wait, really? Does this look anything but intentional to you? Apparently, an ambulance does not need a trained medical professional riding along with a patient who cracked his ribs. She's been riding this whole way and the driver doesn't see her in the rearview mirror? Man, even a bad driver looks at his mirrors from time to time, even if it's only by accident. Well, I made it all the way back to the impound lot. Time to check my rearview mirrors for traffic. Movie briefly turns into a Red Bull video. Why is this asshole climbing up? There's no other place for Wiley to go. All you have to do is stand down here and Wiley is either caught by the guy behind him or basically jumps right into your arms. This guy Angus is working on a car for some reason while two fugitives are riding around on bikes in the impound. Also, he gets up from the van in this shot and then he gets up from the van again in the next shot. Come on! Movie says exactly what the audience is thinking. How did this asshole not hear or see Wiley coming out of the impound? Even if he just got here, he would have at least been able to see or hear all the commotion in the garage and not be standing here like a dumbass so that Wiley can take his bike.
I need a flash mob like 5 minutes ago.
And if I didn't have to make this fucking Sins video, this is the point where I'd stop watching. The scene where they round up all the bike messengers in the city is just like that part in The Amazing Spider-Man where they phone all the crane operators, only somehow more stupid. If Nima could get to Chinatown this fast, why didn't she just deliver this herself? In fact, why didn't she just take a sick day from her job and say f*** it? The only customers who apparently ever come into this bar are bike messengers.
Hey, you know, the thing about these folks, they never testify.
Good point. Now, what's keeping you from shooting the guy and getting the ticket?
Suck it, douchebag.
So here's the so-called flash mob. Is this really what they were all so excited to get out and do? I mean, I thought we were going to see a rumble or something. That this is borderline harmless shit, and certainly not exciting. Okay, so way back here the time was 6:25. Now, let's take a look at what happened since then. Wiley and Manny got into a dick measuring contest that started in Central Park and ended at 28th Street. And while I admit those are some pretty long dicks, it ends with Wiley getting smashed by a car and knocked unconscious. God knows how long he was unconscious, but then they stick him in an ambulance and all that illegal shit with Bobby torturing Wiley happens. That probably should have been the end of it. But there's this long sequence at the impound. Bobby takes Wiley to the impound in his Mazda 6, which he left behind at the crash site. We see a cast on Wiley, so they would have had to have gone to the hospital, immediately gotten medical attention, found Bobby's car, and then
Go to the impound and do the Red Bull video all in 5 minutes.
I'm sorry, this kid is cute, but he's stuck in China and Nima lost 50 grand. There's no way this delivery happens. Movie rubs the impossible time in the face of viewers like we're just supposed to accept that.
Might have to put on the suit someday, but not yet.
Man, no suit job is going to hire a guy with 15 years of bike messaging on his resume. I'm just saying. You have already reached the summit of your particular chosen career path.
Well, life's hard. Turns out they can't come. Okay.
I'm chasing a bicycle. Tricky. No. Delinquent scum! Damn. No! Whatever. Thanks a lot.
Oh, really?
Come on. Damn. Oh, thank you, Jesus. What? Whoa. Wait a second. I need it. Okay, just give me a break. I need to think for a second.
I need a flash mob like 5 minutes ago.
You saw one of my skulls, didn't you? Oh, yes. I know you did. It belonged to a neighbor of yours.
I will find him!
You're really aggressive. I've never hooked up with a girl like you before.
No.
It's kind of dirty in here, don't you think?
That's the idea.